Howdy folks, Alan BePro here today, testing a little possibly myth. A little while ago, I did some work onto my LC9, put a couple of different parts into my LC9, and when I was test firing it, a live round stovepiped out of it. It's the only malfunction that I've ever had with this weapon. I haven't had a malfunction with it since, but it really got me thinking. I looked on the video, I wasn't limp wristing, but it got me thinking about limp wristing, if limp wristing is actually a myth or not. So I've got a few firearms with me today, and we're going to test this one out. So that's what today's about. Is limp wristing a myth?
Watch!
Just a little caveat to all this. I'm doing this with semi-automatic weapons because limp wristing supposedly is not a thing with revolvers. This is just semi-automatic weapons. So in order to test this myth, I'm going to need to limp wrist. I'm going to have to try to induce the problem. The first one that I'm going to try is with the LC9S Pro, and I've actually got some Federal aluminum rounds in here. These aren't my regular self-defense rounds. I do have some Federal aluminum rounds in here. Just to make sure. The weapon is now charged, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this very, very limply with my weak hand and see if we can induce a malfunction. So here we go. So that seemed to clear the magazine just fine. So that one didn't happen. So now trying a different type of ammunition, just the Federal Range and Training Ammo 115 grain. Same thing with the LC9, limp wristing, attempting to see if limp wristing is a real thing. And it locked open, magazine cleared. So I didn't have a limp wristing issue with the LC9S Pro. How about another Ruger? How about a Ruger 9E? Again, the Federal Range Training Ammo. And we'll see if we can induce a malfunction with this weapon by limp wristing. So tell me if this is a myth or not. Okay? I'm going to hold the weapon very loosely in my weak hand. Obviously, I'm very limp here. So far, nothing. How about a little faster fire? So far, nothing. I don't know. Seems like this is kind of telling me something. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's see if we can do it again. Again, the Federal Range Training Ammo in the Ruger 9E. Limp wristing to see if this is an actual thing or not. Does limp wristing actually induce malfunction? Will limp wristing actually induce a malfunction? It doesn't appear that it'll induce a malfunction in the two Rugers that I brought. I want to keep in mind anybody that wants to try this at home or whatever, just be very, very careful. You don't want to drop a weapon. You don't want a weapon getting completely out of your control, but you don't want to drop a weapon. Again, Federal Range Training Ammo, this time with the SIG P320. So let's see if we can induce a malfunction by limp wristing the P320. Doesn't seem to be happening. I don't quite understand. There's everybody says that if you don't hold it right, it will induce a malfunction. How is this doing this? That's so peculiar. Limp wristing. Really? According to these shots in these weapons, there is no such thing as limp wristing. Limp wristing is not real. Not real in any way, shape, or form. So if you want to believe that limp wristing is causing your gun to malfunction, you might want to think again according to these results. I'm Alan BePro, reminding you to always keep your magazines loaded and one in the chamber. So in conclusion, everybody that wants to claim limp wristing anything, get a life.